Hello, I'm Terry Drury, and I'm excited to say that Longbeard Madness 3 and 4 is a compilation of the best turkey hunts of all time. Watch, listen, and enjoy.
We heard a bird over in this general vicinity last night, but we weren't sure where he was. He sounds like he's down here another couple hundred yards. It's foggy this morning, really wet and nasty. We're gonna go down here and set up on and see what we can do. Man, you get mornings like this where it's so foggy and I mean, it's just, the humidity is 100%. I mean, it's almost like it's raining, everything's wet. But, you know, they'll fly down a little bit later, but they'll still work. Let's go get on him.
Many hunters are apprehensive when it comes to early morning location, but not Mark Drury. He's always aggressive.
One thing about it, if he comes in, I always like to have a decoy out. They just flew down. My scope's fogged. Talk about a foggy morning hunt. Oh, man, was that beautiful. Goodness gracious. Woo! How exciting. He's all wet too. This fog is so heavy. Woohoo! Well, what a neat hunt we had this morning. Bird got a little wet because it's so wet out here, so much humidity. The fog is so heavy, it's actually like it's a light mist, but we had this bird roosted, so we came in and hunted anyway, even with the conditions. And we knew roughly where he was, but we didn't know exactly. So this morning, we came in, we knew it was foggy, we figured they'd fly down a little late, and they did. I howled at him a couple times, got him to gobble, got up here on this road, backed off of it 20 or 30 yards right above this creek, put the decoy out, and started calling to him, and immediately I heard hens yelping down with him. And that's key. I mean, oftentimes, whether you're down here in South Texas like I am with Doug Voorhees, or whether you're at home in your neck of the woods, Pennsylvania, New York, whatever, the roost time is generally the time that they're going to have hens, because many times they roost in the same general vicinity. And indeed he did. So I started cranking on him pretty early. I was using one of the new high-frequency diaphragms, the Poison 2, and trying to call the hens in, because when he's got the hens, chances are you're not going to call him away. So I started calling to the hens. I got really aggressive. I was purring, and they started yelping back. And when they do that, man, it's time to crank them, because there's a good chance they'll come on in. And they did. When they got up there, they saw the featherflex hen. They eased up, started working their way down the road, and I mean, he came in for a perfect 30-yard shot, and it just ended up being a foggy morning I won't soon forget. Really, really a nice hunt down here with Doug, as always. Woo! Foggy morning gobbler. If If you've ever logged on to our website, druryoutdoors.com, and visited our discussion board, then you know one of the most popular topics on that board is what type of camera do I need to video my hunt. It seems like everybody's getting into videoing their own hunt. Well, I can tell you exactly what our setup is. We shoot a Canon XL1. We make sure that the entire camera is completely camouflaged. We have a set of Sony headphones so you can monitor your audio and make sure you've got good clean audio. And we've also got a Bogan 3063 headed fluid head tripod on a 3001 base. That's the exact setup we've been using the last 3 years. We also like to take some camouflage netting so that we can have complete cover if need be out there in the field. I'll actually drape that over me like that, put my head net up, and you're ready to film. Now, not everybody can afford this type of camera. It might be $3,500, $3,600. There are other good cameras in the mini DV format, and that's the key word, mini DV, that you can go out and get excellent quality pictures. Another format I might recommend is digital high 8. Both of those formats will allow you virtually enough quality to reproduce. And if you get a good piece of footage, send it to us at Drury Outdoors.
This is one of the most phenomenal eastern wild turkey gobbling mornings you will ever hear. John Odell has a tendency to sniff out those hot spots.
These turkeys flew down and got henned up, and they walked off. And rather than try to stay with these birds, it's real early in the year and there's no foliage, and it's a real open area that we're hunting, and it'd be really difficult to try to get set up on them, call them in. So rather than do that, I think what we're going to opt to do is go ahead and set up a ground blind where they were strutting this morning, and then just come back in the cover of darkness tomorrow morning, and hopefully we'll get some to come in off the roost. And I think that's a good way to hunt these birds, so we'll see if we have some luck, see if it works out.
Never be afraid to pull out all the stops. Change tactics, adapt, and move in. Aggressive rather than passive can sometimes be the difference.
Oh, come on, turkey. Just strut. Come on, turkey. You will not come in. Just strut right there. Oh, he's gonna give me a heart attack. Still right there. Put that in.
Yes! I didn't know if this was ever going to happen. This turkey is a monster. That explains why he wouldn't come in. Holy cow. What a brute.
Wow, what an awesome hunt. This gobbler is a long spurred old turkey. He gave us fits. We actually started hunting him yesterday, or at least this group of gobblers, and they were henned up, and they got down, they walked away from us. So we set up a ground blind yesterday morning in hopes that we could come in and set up right where they like to fly down and strut. And as luck would have it, they actually pitched over the top of us and landed behind us. And there were turkeys all around us. Finally, this gobbler, he was strutting back and forth for all the different hens as they'd worked their way through. And finally, Lady Luck came our way. A hen landed right behind us, and as he was strutting for her, it brought him that extra 10-15 yards I needed to make a nice clean kill. And fortunately for me, I was able to harvest this gorgeous turkey. What an awesome hunt.
we saw them, Keenan? They should be. Are they in that little ditch, that draw?
They're coming this way, up this green field, over this way.
Well, let's try and get ahead of them and see if we can't cut them off. We've probably just set some kind of record for the most number of hunters chasing after an old tom in one group. We'll test our skills and our luck. There she is. I cannot express the gratification that one realizes when hunting with your spouse. I am one of those lucky hunters that after years of persuasion, finally convinced my wife Willa to pursue a spring bird year after year. What a rush. There's a gobbler right there on the hill, right there. Jan and I. There's two of them. The other one's right with it. There he is, see?
Which one?
The front one. Wait till they separate that first one. Good shot. Good shot. Woohoo! Good job.
You did it. Look at that. Good turkey.
This has really been fun. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome, boy. I'll tell you what.
Anytime, Willa.
You know what? I think it's every husband's dream to be able to share a hunt with his wife. I know it is for me, and you guys probably feel the same way. I know Pat likes to turkey hunt.
Absolutely.
But
I really enjoy getting out and in the springtime and doing this Iowa turkey hunt. I've always enjoyed it.
even though this don't feel like spring, it's 35, 40 degrees this morning, wind blowing 40 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Thanks to Keenan for spotting those birds. What a pretty sight those gobblers were coming off that hill, but had he not spotted that hen, we might have bumped right into him.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought our only chance was to get ahead of them, and I feel like we were kind of coming in on the tail end of them. They'd almost went past us, and Keenan spotted the hen, so that put us on alert, and then we spotted the gobbler. So.
Well, you know, we talk a lot about friction calls in that high wind, but we've proven it time and time again. You were running cherry bomb, and it just seemed to cut through the wind, and those birds, you couldn't have asked for them to work any prettier down there.
They did. They come as straight, even with the wind. I don't know how they coursed that sound, but they come just as straight as they could. And, you know, the box call cut the wind better, and it was
Thanks
a great.
to your good calling. Thanks, Tad.
Well, you've made a great shot on him.
Oh, yes.
Isn't this quite a bit different than sitting behind a desk and answering the phone
It
and
is.
listening to all those sales reps complain and all that jazz?
Well, when the customers call in now, I can relate better to what, you know, they're all excited about, turkey season and getting out in the woods, and I can actually identify with it now, and I really do enjoy it and can see why they love it too.
Now you know why we enjoy it so
I
much.
know.
That's why we're gone so much.
That's right.
Well, let's go get Tad on one. What do you
All
say?
right,
Keenan,
let's go.
thank you
For
very much,
that.
buddy.
Let's go do it again.
Thanks again, guys.
this up here. You know, we don't normally talk about equipment, but being intimate with your equipment, being intimate with your shotgun is so important. And these Remington 1187s has bailed me out of so much trouble because I take a lot of people, I hunt riders, video people, and they're not used to the gun, so I just hand them a gun. The gun I hand them, this Remington 1187 with the burr scope combination, Mad Max choke, you can't beat it. And it shoots a pattern. It's so pretty, even out to 40 yards. It's so pretty, a turkey can't escape it. It's something that we really rely on here.
The most special hunt with the most special of people. Our parents, Ralph and Lucille, sat in on an early morning hunt to listen and observe from an adjacent location. Little did they know that they have fulfilled a long-time dream for Mark and myself. About a classic hunt. Classic hunt.
Man, oh man. Oh, what a bird. He's a pig.
Y'all want to go see the turkey?
Yeah, we can walk down there. We'll congratulate Terry on the first one.
Well, Mom, Dad, how'd you like your first turkey hunt?
Oh, it was great. Not even cold. I was excited.
It's cold this morning. The weatherman said it was about 29 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
Wind blowing, and we roosted these birds last night, and Terry and Tad came in and set up and filmed, and I took Mom and Dad up on the hill in a little blind just to listen to the show. And what happened? What unfolded, Terry?
It was a classic hunt. I mean, you rarely get a chance to get that tight on the turkeys, but you and Tad did your homework last night, came in, built a little blind. You said it was about 9 o'clock before you got back. And we slipped in here in the cover of darkness and got in real tight. We were within 35 yards of this bird. Could hear him spitting and drumming on the limb there. It was over and over, repetitive. And they saw the decoys out in the field and pitched out early, and they were within gun range the whole time that we were in here. So it was a classic hunt, and I was just elated that Mom and Dad were along and got to share it with us and see what we do. And this is the first time since we've been hunting that they've ever got to share something like this with us.
We've talked about it for how long?
Oh, 11, 12 years, I guess. Finally made it. But it was a wonderful morning because they was just gobbling north of us, south of us, east and west. They was gobbling all around us. It was just a great morning, and just loved to listen to one and then the other. It was a great I guess, thrill for really the first time that I'd ever sit out in the woods to listen to them like that. And it was just a great, wonderful morning. Being with the two boys is just something different.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming out. As cold as it was, like I said, we've been threatening to do it, and we finally got you out. So.
Well, we wouldn't have given nothing to
miss it.
It. We would have.
It's been a pretty good
trip.
trip.
Yeah, we're going no matter how cold.
What time did you wake up this morning?
First time I woke up was 12, then at 2. So then we finally got up and said, "Oh, let's get dressed."
We're
ready to go.
Like a kid at Christmas,
yeah,
wasn't it?
That's right.
Well, I listened to that old hard wind last night. All I could think of was dummy, dummy, dummy.
It was windy yesterday too, but we lucked out. Willa killed one yesterday, and we killed one this morning. So
the interesting thing was I was trying to film their reaction up in the blind as the birds were gobbling, and I was rolling when you shot. And
were you?
It was dark, and then we came down, and you said right when the birds went behind the tree is when you got the shot off, which it doesn't matter. I mean, the important thing was that Mom and Dad were here to experience it. I mean,
and Terry got the bird. That was the most important.
That's the main part. Yeah, we got the bird.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
it's going to be part of your lunch.
And it is a big bird.
Yeah,
absolutely
he's a nice big turkey, but that's going to be lunch.
I think that's going to be good.
Let's go eat him.
I think tonight we'll have very good turkey.
You know, looking over a valley like this is a good way mid-morning or late morning even into the afternoon to glass this whole valley. You can see turkeys out here, maybe get a game plan as far as setting up on them. And also, you know, Texas maybe doesn't get a fair reputation on how beautiful and how scenic it is. And you can tell from this this viewpoint that it's pretty scenic. This is beautiful up here, overlooking this whole valley. We just got done glassing this whole valley from atop that hillside up there, and we didn't see any turkeys, but we have also a watering tank that's just over this way, and they have to come to water. I mean, it's 90 degrees, it's really hot in camouflage, and turkeys have to come to that water. So what we're just going to do is we're going to set up, we're probably 150 yards away from the watering tank, but anything that's going to travel through this bottoms to that tank is going to probably intercept us, or at least hopefully I can coax them to do that. So we're just going to set up right over here.
We've talked before about how hunting water sources in dry areas can be effective for deer hunting. But as Dave will show us, it can be just as effective when hunting turkeys.
Oh my God. One just gobbled right there.
What an incredible hunt. This gobbler came in so close that you could almost reach out and touch it.
This Rio hunt's awesome. We have had just a fantastic day today. The weather broke. It was kind of foggy this morning. The weather broke. We killed several turkeys this morning. It's opening day still. It's 3:30 in the afternoon, and this one comes in. I mean, it's just, when they're working, they're just a fun turkey to hunt, and they're beautiful. And these were putting on a show for us today, so it was awesome. Awesome hunt. When you're trying to set up on turkeys and the sun's high over the sky and it's casting a lot of shadows, especially earlier in the season when there's not as much foliage, you really have to pay attention to the shade part of the trees or shaded areas of the tree. Get set up in those. What you're doing is you're helping your camouflage out a lot, and you're going to conceal yourself more when you're making those subtle movements that it takes to harvest a turkey that comes in close enough. And I think if you do that, you'll harvest more of those turkeys that come in close that normally you didn't quite get a shot off because they probably spotted you on the sunny side of a tree. So set up in the shade, it definitely helps, definitely works.
Now it's off to Kansas for an amazing encounter with more eastern gobblers than you can shake a stick at.
I haven't had that much action in a long time. Tell you what, it goes to show you don't always have to kill something to have a great hunt. We saw those birds in the field edge, came down here and set up, and this is all the closer we could get, this little berm. And I thought there was a strutter in with them. Managed to pull all the jakes across about a quarter mile, 15 of them in all, I think. And they'd gobble and strut and put on a show for the better part of an hour. And it was enjoyable just to be here and watch it.
An encounter with all those jakes would surely be difficult to top. So let's see how Brian fares the next morning.
I think it sounds like we've got a bunch of turkeys roosted over here. Can't tell how many, but it sounds like at least a couple longbeards. And there's at least one with some hens behind us here, but these birds seem a lot hotter. So I think what we might try to do is just ease over here toward the creek bottom and stay back enough that we don't spook them and just kind of sit down and see what happens. The way the land breaks and the way the creek is, I think they might just ease on up through here, go into a field. And if it works out, we might have a decent chance of calling them in.
this on this bird.
This has been an unforgettable hunt. From yesterday, calling in those 15 jakes a quarter mile across the field, to this morning, came in and thought we heard a turkey from the vehicle, and sure enough, turned out that there was several of them roosted by the river. Slipped in, blew a crow call, set up about as close as we figured we could, and it just worked out perfectly, and managed to call one in for a look and killed him. Just a classic example of not knowing exactly where a turkey is, but slipping in, and everything worked out, which doesn't happen very often. I'll tell you what, this is a fantastic turkey. He's probably got a 9-10 inch beard, but the spurs on this turkey are good 1 3/8 inches and razor sharp hook. He's just a gorgeous, gorgeous Kansas turkey, and I couldn't be happier with him. I'll tell you what, you won't find many spurs better than that. Those are some of my best ever. Just an absolutely dandy Kansas bird, and I'm really, really pleased with him. It's mornings like this that really make you truly realize how lucky you are, how lucky I am to have the position I do, and be able to work in the hunting industry with Turkey and Turkey Hunting Magazine. It's easy to forget about that when you're in the daily grind, maybe putting out magazine after magazine in the winter and summer, putting in a lot of office time, and it almost seems like a sacrifice. But I tell you what, when you're able to come and do this and appreciate just the beauty of everything here in the turkey woods, it makes you realize how truly lucky you are, and especially in a world where it seems like so many people just hate or resent what they do. I just realized I've been truly blessed to be able to do this for a living and to call it work. I'm extremely lucky.
Right there, just over the hill. Use this road right here to set up, okay?
Whenever world champion caller and good friend Don Ship sets up to call, it's never a question of will a gobbler come in, it's only a question of when will a gobbler come in.
You can't beat that for a hunt. You know, today was like the biggest part of the turkey hunter's day. We started out, we had a turkey roosted, got in with him tight. He had hens with him, and we didn't get him called away from the hens. They left. Everything got quiet for a while, and we didn't want to quit. A lot of people were going home, but we stayed with it. And it's about 11 o'clock. We step out of the truck, walk into a little spot we know turkeys use. First time we called, turkey gobble. Well, we found a hot turkey, and it didn't take but about 10 minutes. You know, sometimes it happens that way, and you're fortunate when it does. Just like this one right here, he was beautiful coming up the road, and it was just a hunt. You'll have one or two like that a year, and today was my day, and that was sweet. There's not a prettier hunt than one in the middle of the day in the sun, strutting up a green road like that. It was just beautiful.
These new high-frequency series of mouth calls, I've had great luck with it this spring, and I think that you put higher frequency out in the airwaves, you're going to get more answers, and I've found I've had much more success this spring with this mad high-frequency line, and they run really realistic, and that's what I like. I like a realistic sounding call.
While waiting for an eastern longbeard on a beautiful Missouri morning, a young man hunting with his uncle is looking to harvest his first turkey.
Got turkey up in the tree on the roost. We're watching him. We'll give him a couple of soft calls, see if we can get him to come up this way. But he can see us from here, so we have to be careful. We got the bird on the ground. He's about 100 yards out. Once again, he can still see us from here. We're watching him. Well, it looks like this one gave us the slip. He came down off the tree, got on the ground, he walked straight away from us. We saw him fan out one time. I think what we're going to do is go up on this far hillside. Go down the hill. There's a big field up here on top. We think that's where he's at. And the birds, we know, are going down the ridge in the morning. So we're going to go across, down the ridge, try to get ahead of them, see if we can't set up down there.
What a magnificent bird to harvest for your first ever turkey hunt. Wade performed like an old pro. He was patient and made a great shot when the time came.
Well, here we are on the first day of Missouri's special youth turkey hunt. This is my nephew Wade. As you can see, he was fortunate enough to kill a big old longbeard on his first turkey hunt. Missouri started this special hunt just this year. It's to give the youths age 15 and under a chance to hunt. And we came into this farm this morning down below here. We heard 3 birds gobbling. We tried to get up above them to get set up, and what happened?
Well, we came up on a different gobbler and he was up in the roost, and he stayed there for about 10 minutes, and then when he flew down, he flew away from us and he never did gobble. So we just backed up and heard this bird.
After we heard this bird behind us, why, we came back up here and he was gobbling back up on the ridge here behind us. We got decoys put out, got all set up, called a couple of times, and he just ignored us. After he walked down where he could see the decoys and we called, he started to show some interest, and he came up through the woods down here. Had a little bit of trouble getting on him, didn't you? He didn't want to hold still for you.
Well, after he started coming up here, I had one clear shot, but when he tried stopping him, he wouldn't stop. Then he came up, and I had to wait for him to take another 10 steps because it was all brushy, and whenever he came into a clearing, he just stopped, and I shot, and he dropped.
So, well, congratulations, Wade. That's a real good bird for your first one. There's lots of guys hunt a long time and don't kill a 20-pound Missouri bird. That's really a nice one. It's a beautiful day out here today, too.
Well, it's back to Iowa for another chance at one more of its eastern gobblers. Here's another first-time turkey hunter looking to harvest his first turkey. Once again, a magnificent bird becomes the target of a young man's first turkey hunt.
When these 2 gobblers started working in, they were about 40-45 yards out, and we really couldn't tell how big he was, because we didn't have a good view on him because we're set down kind of in a low spot from up here. But it didn't take long. The mad calls brought him right in. Feather flex decoys just set him up perfect, and he got up here and we could tell that he was a good bird. And the cameraman said take him, and the Remington 870 special purpose and the Mad Max choke tube and the Winchester ammunition, just a combination of everything made this hunt come true. Just made this something I'm never going to forget. This is truly awesome. I can guarantee you I'm going to be a turkey hunter for a while. It was a great experience. I can't wait till next year now.
You know, with all the gear turkey hunters use, this might be the most important piece. For $5 or $6, these clippers can make your setup a lot better place. You know, it's amazing how sometimes just little obstructions like this, brush, undergrowth, deadfalls, things like that, can get in your way, potentially destroy your pattern, prevent you from getting a shot. A lot of times when I sit down, if I have time before I work a turkey, you just want to make sure that everything's out of your way. You can swing freely to either side with your gun. You're not going to be making noise. You have to shift around the tree, and there's nothing in front of the barrel that you might not have seen before to wreck your pattern. So I always make sure I carry a pair in my vest, and they're 9 times out of 10 invaluable.
This time, good friend Tad Brown is in search of a real longbeard as we head back down to Texas. Quick setup, and Tad is ready to call in a gobbler with a cherry bomb box call.
they were beautiful coming up through there. This is a late afternoon hunt and it is hot and dry. I'm hunting here on the Chaparosa with Doug Borries. And Doug said to come down here, there's a pond here and a watering tank up above. He said, walk, and there's a creek back this way. And he said, get close to that water and spend the afternoon, take your time and you'll find a bird. And I've been walking and calling this real easy, working it slow. And it sounded like 2 or 3 answered, and there was at least 4, I think, come up the road. But before I could get my decoy out and get set up, they gobbled again and it moved closer. And it happened pretty quick. They come pretty hard, and it didn't take a great deal of calling. I was working them with the cherry bomb and just really enjoying it, working them slow, and they were coming steady and gobbling good, and then all of a sudden they gobbled right here close. So I switched to my mouth call, the hyper hen, and worked them on in and had a great hunt. Great hunt. Fast hunt. Great turkey. Beautiful Rio Grande. Nice beard. About a 3-year-old turkey. Nice spurs. Looks like a 3-year-old turkey. Nice sharp spurs. Beautiful bird. Beautiful tail. They were all strutting and gobbling coming up through there. Beautiful.
Now we're going to catch up with Randy Helmkamp, who takes us to Illinois for yet another memorable hunt.
Bird right there.
Strutting up to a hen, this gobbler's courtship is about to be interrupted. A gang of jakes sends this gobbler the other way in a hurry.
Get out of here, bird. Well, I tell you what, it doesn't get any better than this morning. We got a beautiful day, bluebird day, and it's probably about, I don't know, 65 degrees, and wind's calm finally. We've been fighting this wind all season long, and we got us a good bird. We had hen fly down the field. She walked over into the decoy. She was there probably 20 minutes. And then the gobbler was up on the hill, and he worked his way down to the edge of the timber and was just gobbling his head off. They probably sat out there 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, here come the jakes, and that was it. Boy, that old gobbler took off for running. He ran all the way down the field, and I thought our morning was over. I thought we was going to have a long day. And the one hen was still out here by our decoy, so I was like, well, let's just sit here and see what happens. And it wasn't 5 minutes later, I turned around and looked down our edge, and here he come back to the decoys. And he kind of come out strut and started running, so I took him. I figured it was my one and only chance, so. He's a beautiful bird. He's got nice hooks on him.
The competitive and aggressive nature of these birds was on full display this morning. Boy, probably nothing any tougher than a pasture bird, or we call them pasture birds. These field birds like to roost right on the edge of these fields and then pitch down. They get into these high humps where you can't get to them unless you belly crawl, and they stand out there and they gobble and they expect all these hens to pitch down and come to them. And when they get accustomed to doing that and they've got hens running to them, there is nothing any tougher than trying to harvest one of those birds. Well, how do you do it? I'll tell you what. We came in, we observed this turkey, watched him 2 or 3 mornings in a row, able to come in here and roost him of an evening, finding out exactly what limb he was sitting on. Once he hit the ground, why, we knew which direction he was going to try and head to. So what we do, why, we conversely came in here, set up a little blind, and got within 35, 40 yards of him and was able to take the turkey. But it was because of some observation and being able to study that bird 3 or 4 mornings in a row and then making your move and coming in and being effective. So take it from me, it's not easy to kill one, but when you do, it's a really, really nice feeling. Our story continues in Illinois. A couple of mornings later, and it's Kirby Knoxstead's turn to harvest an eastern longbeard. Unfortunately, Kirby was unable to get a shot, but like any good hunter, he's going to be patient and wait for that gobbler to come back. Kirby knows that his chances are good as long as a clucking hen is nearby.
That was a great hunt there. Well, we had a good morning here. It's about 8 o'clock, and
a little while ago we had this Tom come out, and boy, he's a nice bird too. He came out and put on a little show for us, and he was kind of blocked by the camera a little bit, but I think we got a little bit of him. So he came out and strutted around for a while, and then the hen come out, and he went to following on the hen. He came out here and he went in a strut again, turned around and gave me a chance to swing my gun on him, and I put the old 870 on him and shooting this Mad Choke tube with number 5 Winchesters, and boy, they really put a number on him. He was close, but even out there longer yardages, boy, it sure puts a whack on him. This one worked out real good and put him down right in his tracks. So now we can get on home and maybe get a little bit of breakfast or something, maybe go out a little bit later on this morning again. So good day, good bird.
It's a gorgeous morning in the land of 10,000 lakes as we pay a visit to Dan Wachorik.
Right here, close, like 75.
Just what Dan was hoping for. This beautiful eastern longbeard starts down the road.
That Mad Max choke throw pattern or what? That bird didn't even flop. Boy, today was one of them textbook hunts that it don't happen to me too often, but we had no luck roosting these birds. So this morning we started out in the field. We know there's turkeys in here. It's excellent country. We started out with the owl hooter up there, no response. Then I tried the new mad coyote howler here, high frequency, and barked her down in here, and boy, these birds gobbled. It sounded like a couple of them. So we slipped in here real tight, you know, hoping they didn't have hens, and we ended up getting right on these birds here. We were probably within 60 yards of them, and then this gobbler was up here, and they kind of came together, came around the corner, and we seen the feather flex decoys on, and they came right in, and for luck they separated enough there right when they got here close, and I was able to get a clean shot on this one, and man, what a shot it was. How can you top a hunt like that?
You know, this is a good tip. We're set up in the edge of a field, and it's late in the season. We have a pretty normal decoy spread that we utilize. It's a Jake decoy and a hen decoy. And I'm a right-handed shooter, so what I've done is I've set up with my left shoulder facing the decoy. And what we found is that 90% of the time, that dominant gobbler is going to go right to that Jake decoy. So when I'm set up like this, it takes very minimal movement for me to get in line and make a clean harvest. And that's something to think about. Be cognizant of that when you set up your decoy spread. If you're a right-handed shooter, set up with your left shoulder facing the Jake decoy. And if it's the opposite, if you're a left-hander, make sure your right shoulder is facing that decoy spread. I think it'll help you to minimize your movements and help you to be more successful when the moment of truth comes and you need to go ahead and harvest that bird. So remember that, and I think it'll help you to be more successful this spring.
Brother Mark heads out to Colorado to help call in one of those beautiful Merriam Longbeards for Dr. John Alfson, who is looking to harvest his first turkey.
Come on, John, let's see if we can't get on that turkey. Now, when we were up on top, he was going around that curve right there. Tell you what, why don't you guys get right there? I'm gonna put this decoy up and see if we can. Okay, when we were up there, he was clear around this canyon, so let's give him some time to work his way in, because they've been working good. I'm gonna drop back here and call him. Hey, way to go, guys. How about that for a hunt? Be careful coming off there. Look there, everybody. Good job, Greg. How about it, John? How's your first turkey, buddy? Congratulations.
Once again, we've been fortunate enough to capture a first-time turkey hunt on film, and it was truly awesome.
Boy, that's where the power of decoy did it. He was let go again once he saw the decoy. That's why he just come up through there. So did you see him coming all the way through? Yeah. Well, John, congratulations on your first turkey.
That's quite nice.
Did you think when you were sitting at the St. Louis Valley chapter Super Fun banquet, and they were drawing this hunt for here at Trophy Mountain Outfitters, did you ever imagine that you were going to win this free hunt?
I thought I had less than a ghost of a chance.
What'd you think when you won?
I looked at my number, I know it was what they said, and I just couldn't believe that was my number.
These guys are really gracious with the way they donate hunts and the way they sponsor the NWTF, and you know, it's for the restoration of the bird just like this. And you know, we came full circle. You know, you won it at an NWTF event, and here you are killing your first turkey. I mean,
Oh,
it really
that's wonderful. That's great.
It doesn't get any better. It's a great cause. We did a lot of things right here this evening. First of all, we had a visual of the bird from on top. We saw him go down this road walking away, and he was by himself. It's evening, so we felt like he'd want to pick a hen up. And we got down here, we stayed back from him a little bit, and I think one of the nicest things, or a technique that I use a lot, was the decoy placement. I like to take my decoys and put them where they are facing away from an approaching gobbler. I don't like to face them towards him. I don't like them profiled. I like them quartering away, and that gives him the appearance that she's walking away from him, and you saw what it did. I mean, he came right up the road. Man, what a beautiful sight, and great shot, buddy. What a beautiful bird.
Well, we weren't successful that time, but you know, a good point, and I think a lot of people overlook this, is you carry these decoys around in your vest all day long, and what happens is they get smashed down and they don't look real. And so what we like to do with our feather flex decoys is after a hunt, a morning's hunt, we fluff them back out, get them all set up, and then sit them back here so that they're not smashed, and so they don't get creases and don't get smashed out flat. And I think it helps them to look more realistic, and I think it'll help you this spring too. So it's just another tip you can try to hopefully help you be more successful.
Another amazing morning in Colorado is the setting for our final story, as two sons gratefully take their father on a very memorable hunt.
Shot, Dick.
Yeah, thank you.
That
was a good shot. Thank you.
I think you made the shot at the right time too. It looked like he was going to follow those in.
You're just going to get further,
leave.
I think. Yep. I think you're just going to get further.
That's great, man. That was a great hunt. You boys roosted the turkey last night, and you called the hunt just like it happened.
Sometimes they work out the way they're supposed to.
Right. Well, I didn't know if we need to get up quite so early, but once we got here and seeing what the cover was like, it was important that we got up early and got here.
Time was the essence.
Got in under the cover of darkness. We just stayed in a straight line, trying to simulate deer, I guess, or antelope coming through here, and got behind the tree. That's great.
Yeah, you guys had this one all figured out, that's for sure.
I'll tell you what, the father-son team is a neat aspect of this. Did you get the boys started turkey hunting?
No, they have always taken me hunting. I don't take.
Really?
I don't take them hunting.
So they started turkey hunting.
Yeah, I don't even remember when Tiger started turkey hunting. Started bear hunting, deer hunting, elk hunting, antelope hunting. They always took me. I kind of had to take them for a while because I could drive and they couldn't.
So they started early, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they started going with their granddad when they were a little less than 2.
So did your boy's granddad, he hunted turkeys and everything?
No, he didn't start hunting turkeys until he was
85 or 86.
Right.
But we love hunting with our dad. We love taking our dad out.
They do a good job. They always take care of me, I'll say that.
I'm sure they owe old dad a few good times, don't they?
Well, they've shown me some good ones.
Well, that's great. This is a great hunt. The decoys did their job. We started calling to them once they hit the field. They seen the decoys, and great hunt.
Started this
good hunt. Good way to end it all.
You're not kidding, guys. That was great. Congratulations again, Dick.
Congratulations, Dad.
Thank you, guys.
Turkey hunting, about 5 years in a row now.
Hunting's my life. I'm a taxidermist by trade, so I am around it all the time. I love it. I've loved it ever since I was a boy.
I just love being out there in the woods. I love watching the animals and everything like that. And I love hunting with my dad. It's just a great thrill to be out in the woods with him, enjoying nature with him.
I really enjoy this because growing up, I didn't get to spend the amount of time with them that a lot of people get to spend with their children when they're younger. So now I'm getting even and beginning to spend more time with them when we're older. And I'm not too sure that isn't just as good. I think it probably is good or a little better. We seem to enjoy each other probably a little bit more than we would have back then.
It's nice being able to go out, with somebody in your family that means a lot to you and give them something back, for all the things that he gave us as we were growing up.
Dad started going along to help take care of me because I was so little at the time. And he enjoyed it.
At this point in my life, it's what I guess I'd call get even time. I always had to take them hunting in the past, and now it's up to them to take me hunting and take care of me.
Now as I've grown older and I'm not dependent on somebody to take me out, my dad's grown older too, and we take him out and we get enjoyment out of that. He was always there for us, and now I feel like, in some small way, I'm there for him to pay him back and help him out.
They slow up for me because I don't get around very well, and they get around very well. They do everything they possibly can to make it possible for me to bag what I want.
You want to go do this, you want to go do that, and hunt this, deer, elk, antelope. We got him a bighorn sheep this year that was one of the greatest moments of my life.
We truly hope you've enjoyed this video and continue to enjoy it with each viewing. All of us at Drury Outdoors are sincerely thankful for your participation. Good luck in the field, and please hunt smart and safe.